Hello everyone. Recently, in the month of April 2020, the American College of Rheumatology has published guidance for the management of adult patients with rheumatic diseases during the COVID 19 pandemic in the Journal of Arthritis and Rheumatology. In this short video, I would share my understandings on the same: what, when, and how to start, to continue, to switch, or stop a disease modifying agent or any other drug that is used for the treatment of rheumatic diseases. We will deal with this discussion in two parts. Number one, on how to deal with new active rheumatic diseases, and number two, how to deal with the stable diseases. Let us start with the newly diagnosed rheumatic diseases. In the absence of exposure, or if the patient is not infected with SARS CoV 2 virus, what do we do? In inflammatory arthritis, use the lowest possible dose of prednisolone, which is less than 10 milligrams per day, or NSAIDs for pain relief. Let us start the conventional dose of DMARDs, either it be methotrexate, sulfasalazine, leflunomide, hydroxychloroquine, or chloroquine as indicated. These DMARDs can be switched off to another DMARD whenever indicated as per the standard protocol. If the patient doesn't respond to conventional synthetic DMARD, we can shift over to the biologic DMARDs, and there is no harm in giving biologic DMARDs in these patients during this COVID 19 pandemic. Continue hydroxychloroquine. If hydroxychloroquine is not available, change to another conventional DMARD. Continue tocilizumab if the patient is already on tocilizumab. If not available, change to another biologic DMARD. In case of lupus, start or continue hydroxychloroquine. Use high-dose steroids and immunosuppressive agents in life-threatening or organ-threatening conditions in appropriate doses in patients with SLE and also in other rheumatic conditions. As regards to Sjogren's syndrome, the evidence for effectiveness of chloroquine or hydroxychloroquine is meager, so it's better not to start either of them. Moving on to the second situation where we deal with pre-existing rheumatic diseases. In the absence of exposure or infection in patients with stable rheumatic diseases, the following drugs can be continued: steroids, NSAIDs, conventional DMARDs like sulfasalazine, hydroxychloroquine, chloroquine, methotrexate, and leflunomide. All biologics and JAK inhibitors can be continued. Immunosuppressants like mycophenolate mofetil, cyclophosphamide, cyclosporin, tacrolimus, and azathioprine can be continued. While we are using denosumab, it is better to increase the duration of intervals from 6 monthly to 8 monthly. So it's easy to deal with a rheumatic patient if there is no exposure or infection. What we do is just continue what we are giving them. Right. But what if the patient gets exposed to a SARS CoV 2 virus, either by getting close with a close contact or in any other possible way? What if they call you? It's better to continue the steroids at the same dose, NSAIDs at the same dose, sulfasalazine and hydroxychloroquine, yes, you can continue. The data regarding methotrexate and leflunomide is still uncertain. However, in my regards, it's better to stop them. Among the biologics, tocilizumab can be continued, but biologics other than tocilizumab, JAK inhibitors, immunosuppressants, and denosumab have to be stopped temporarily. So I have written some few drugs to be stopped. Till when do we stop these things? We will stop all these drugs till the patient goes for a PCR on the suspected date. It's preferably day 5 or day 14 after the exposure, or after 2 weeks of symptom-free observation. Once the patient crosses this stage, these medicines can be restarted. Okay, now let us see on what do we do with the confirmed or presumptive SARS-CoV infected cases. In these cases also, we do not recommend to stop steroids because stopping steroids can put a lot of stress on the adrenal system, so it is better not to stop whatever dose the steroid the patient is taking. Guidelines say it is better to stop NSAIDs in patients who are having severe respiratory symptoms. It's better to stop NSAIDs unless and otherwise the patient is symptomatic. Sulfasalazine has to be stopped, methotrexate has to be stopped, and leflunomide has to be stopped till clinical recovery. Hydroxychloroquine can be continued. Tocilizumab can be continued. All biologics except tocilizumab, JAK inhibitors, immunosuppressants, and denosumab have to be stopped till the patient gets out to have a complete clinical recovery. I hope you like this video. Thank you.